It's Pete from Cheap Homesteading, and it's about 5 o'clock on Saturday morning, and we're going to fire up the evaporator and start boiling some sap. So let's go. Okay, so I got the four-wheeler loaded up, and we should be good to go. Okay, so now we're going to get this sucker going. Eventually, I'm going to have to build doors for the front of this thing because it's hard to get the chimney warm when you don't have doors. So I find that I block off the front just for a short while until the chimney starts heating, and then there you go. It starts going. So now it's just finally got up to temperature and it's up and running good. And I'll give you a little bit of a tour of my sugar shack and the evaporator and all that kind of stuff. So basically the fire is under the front pan. And I use about 4-foot long pieces of wood. Maybe 4 or 5, all depends. The pans sit on 2 big racks. The fire is under here, but the smoke carries on underneath the second pan, and it preheats the second pan. So your main part of your boiling happens up here, but the sap going into it is preheated, so it doesn't cool down the boiling process too much. So the smoke comes underneath the second pan, and then it goes up my chimney. You will probably recognize what I made my chimney out of. I am not condoning this in any way, but that's what I use. And I have another chimney that is a bigger chimney that goes up past the peak. And it just sits inside there. So the smoke goes up, and then it goes all the way out the chimney on the top. I have a little flap that opens with a little rope, and I tie it onto the wall. I have a cube sitting outside my window. I open the cube and the sap runs into the pan. In this pan it kind of slowly heats up, preheats it. And I made everything gravity, so my next pan is lower. So all I have to do, well, you can't see it, open up the tap to whatever level I want. Just a trickle or whatever, continuously feed the pan. And then my finishing pan is still lower than the next pan, so I can open taps to allow sap to move to the finishing pan, basically throughout the system. I find the system is really effective, and it's even helped that since I closed in the back wall, it doesn't give a chance for the back pan to cool down too much. It's really steaming now. But your main boiling happens on your front pan. My pans are 3x7, 2 of them, and one that's 2x2. I had a 2x3 pan last year, but I kind of wanted to allow more smoke up and around the pan, so I didn't plug my holes as good. And the main reason for that is I actually noticed less smoky taste. So I'm going to try to hit a little bit of a happy medium between smoky taste and suddenly not burning 20-30 quart of wood just to boil a few liters of maple syrup, so it's much better. So I finally got the system pretty much the way I like it. it's working great. Everything is running really, really well. The only thing I might change in the future is make automatic floats, so I can leave each pan to only have about 2 inches, so you have the optimum boiling. Because if you have to fill up the tank, you end up filling the pan and allow the pan to boil. But if it automatically fills to keep it at that level, you would have optimum boiling, like all the time and consistently. So that would speed up the process too. So that's for another year. First day is going pretty well, I'd say. Lots and lots of steam. The fishing pan has to get a little more up to speed. But we're working on it. The fire is going pretty good under the finishing pan now, so it should start boiling soon. And besides my little incident with the frozen tank, we're doing pretty good.